Go ahead.
What'd you make of the UCLA Oregon game?
No, but I have watched it. I think, it's exactly what I've been saying for, we started this season. I think anybody, there's so much parity in this conference, and you never know what's going to happen from week to week. And if you don't show up playing your best, I know it's not going to turn out good for whoever doesn't play their best. I think UCLA's got a lot of weapons. I mean, they always have. They got a lot of speed. Probably the top guy in college football, throwing the ball. He's tremendous, for sure. This is going to be a really big test. We certainly haven't seen anybody that can throw the ball like he throws it and like they throw it.
Pete, were you surprised at all with Arizona State at Utah? How they performed?
I didn't see the game, so I just saw the score, and nothing surprised me in this. Like I said, it's hard to win in this league, and I think there's a lot of parity, and there's a lot of good players, and I know UCLA or Arizona State. Like we said before, even going in, they got good players, and I think you start getting, everybody wants to just latch on to numbers and latch on to records, and I think if anybody does that, we're not going to do that, because I think there's really deceiving information in records and numbers. Sometimes there is some legitimacy to them, but I think a lot of times it's like you start looking at that stuff, you're looking at the wrong stuff rather than okay, what's the tape look like?
I don't know who coined it first, but I know Mike Bellotti has always called the Pac-12 at times a cannibal conference.
Yeah.
Because of the parity, what you're talking about and whatnot. Is that the same way you see it sometimes?
Yeah, it's just like you say. I tell our guys all the time, it's hard to win in this conference. It is hard to win, and sometimes you're clicking, and it all lines up right, and I think that can be deceiving, as well as how did this happen? How did that team? And so, but I just think from week to week and what you see roster to roster, and I think there's a lot of parity.
Chris, you talked early in the season, those three true freshman defensive backs, you need the depth at some point, and now more than ever, obviously. But have you seen those three guys, progress at this point? Do you think they're ready?
Yeah, that's why we played them. Everybody's like, why are you playing those guys? Because you always need those guys back there, and we play a lot of DBs, and so it's been good you're always kind of preparing, and you really hope that obviously certain guys you don't lose them for the year, whatever the position is, but you just look at the numbers over the course of time, and you're going to lose 5 to 7 guys. It's like, we can't lose that guy, and that seems to be one of those positions. And so it's great that every week they prepare to play and get great meaningful reps, and here we go.
What makes the UCLA pass game so dangerous, and specifically Josh?
Yeah, is that a trick question? Have you watched the tape? He's he's an elite thrower, he is accurate, he throws with anticipation, he's excellent in the pocket. It's all the things, like you guys always ask me about what's the things. He's got them. He's accurate, he throws with anticipation, he's great in the pocket.
What about the guys catching?
Yeah, and so he's got, UCLA always has, we didn't play those guys the last couple years, but all my experience of playing UCLA is over there from way back. They always have tremendous speed, really good talent. Just those schools down there with all those players are always going to have good players, and they do. And I think it's kind of amazing. I think it just really speaks how good this guy is, because they're much more of a balanced attack, running the ball and all those things, and he's leading the conference, throwing the ball. That says a lot, with how Washington State throws. That's what they do, and they do it great. But somebody else is actually leading the conference in passing and efficiency and those type of things. It's pretty impressive.